go to the lines. Keep them rolling here beginning tonight with, is it BK in Monongahela?
Yeah, that's right.
What's up, BK? How are you?
How's it going, Bob?
Good. How are you doing?
I just want to bring up a comment from what a caller said last night concerning the Pirates and, managers and all. I believe the caller said that, a manager does kind of make an influence on, what a team will do and players. And, that got me to thinking, we had a local guy here in Terry Francona, and he, I believe, went on to managed the Phillies and then the Boston Red Sox and then finished up with the Cleveland Indians.
Right.
And knowing how he's turned all those teams around, I often wish that if we had better management here, why we couldn't have kept him here to manage the Pirates, and we might have had a totally different team than what we have right now.
First of all, I think you're giving too much credit to a manager. But I do like Terry Francona and his style and what he's been able to do. But it's also more than that. In Boston, Theo Epstein was the GM there before he went to Chicago and brought in some good players, and he had a lot to do with bringing in the kind of players, and certainly they had a bigger payroll and they made use of it, and Terry Francona knew how to manage it. He also got fired out of Boston because a lot of guys didn't like the way that was going on, but he had won 2 championships, and after 100 and some years, that meant they should have a statue of Terry Francona. But what he's done with Indians is even more impressive, to your point, because, they've added to their franchise with some free agents, but they also have drafted and developed and nurtured those guys. And I think that is the key here that the Pirates are missing. You don't see a lot of guys come up and all of a sudden take over a position and own it for several years. And I think they've done that in Cleveland. And I love Terry Francona. I've known the Francona family for a long time. His dad, Tito, was a great man. And certainly I wish him well. But I think the Pirates have had some pretty good managers here. I don't know how much manager, thanks for the call, influences a game. I think he can, certainly throughout the course of a long season. But it still comes down to who has the best players and who has the best talent. I think over 162, as I said last night, 162 doesn't lie. Let's go to line 5. That's Bill in Greensburg. What's up, Bill? Welcome to the Nightly Sports Call. How are you?
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
Oh, good, thank you.
Looking sharp, buddy. Looking sharp.
Appreciate that. Thanks, man.
What I wanted to talk about, your first call was about Hurdle. Top of the ninth, 2 outs. They pan Williams and Talion sitting in the dugout, and they're laughing. They're laughing. 11 losses in 13 games. Bob, I'm not saying that the manager is at fault with all of it, but I really do believe it's time for Pirate management to get rid of Hurdle, Prince, go Cora, and just start over again with maybe a fresh manager with a fresh approach. I know you're only as good as your players, but sometimes players turn it around too when they have a more disciplined manager. And, washing it off, these guys should be squeaky clean. But I wanted to hear your comment on that. These
first of all,
laughing, losing 6-3.
I think that goes on throughout baseball. If you look at
it isn't right, Bob.
It isn't, but who knows what they're laughing about? And I don't know that Jamison Tyon's not even involved in the game, and he won't be for the rest of the season. So, he's sitting there. Maybe there's something that struck them as funny. I don't know, and I wouldn't read too much into that without knowing what it was they were talking about. What I would say to you about changes is that this is all about accountability, and it starts from the very top. And if Bob Nutting is okay with what's gone on, because Bob Nutting has a payroll that's not going to change much, and moreover, if Clint Hurdle and if Neil Huntington are okay with that, and what you have now is a comfort zone going on. Everyone's okay with the fact that this is mediocre. And maybe the goal is just to be competitive enough that maybe one year you get an opportunity to move up and maybe not. So it depends on what you want. Expectations, we talked a lot yesterday of Mike Tomlin getting a new deal. Expectations are extremely high for that franchise. People want him fired, which I don't agree with, and I never did. Look at what he's been able to do. Yeah, you can look the other way and say he hasn't won enough playoff games, I understand. But the expectation level is high. With the Pirates, it's not that high. It's whatever it is, and I'd like to know what it is. They say they want to win championships, but then if that's the case, where's the accountability when they haven't won one in 12 years since this group has been together? I think that's a fair assessment. Let's go to Jim and Shaler. What's up, Jim? How are you?
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
In a while.
Thanks.
Hey, you just hit it right on the nose. I was talking about accountability. Accountability to the assistant managers, accountability to Hurdle, and the guys in the farm system all the way up. I mean, how much more do you want to see Garrett Cole, Charlie Morton, Glass now succeed at other teams? These are just two guys who are just gone for 2 or 3 years away from the team. I mean, Charlie Morton's in the Cy Young race right now.
Yeah,
They changed, so is Garrett Cole. I think he has 200 strikeouts over, and he's 11-5. I mean, the accountability. You're actually absolutely right. It's got to start. I mean, maybe Uncle Ray has to go. Maybe not Hurdle. Maybe they have to bring in a new pitching guy to teach these guys. Because I mean, look, they learned pitching styles of different organizations, and they're succeeding. Maybe Hurdle don't have to go, but other people do have to go.
Well,
I
mean, they have to look at that, and however they look at it, I would like to see some accountability, and I really don't know what that is. I don't know what their expectation level is because they never really say, other than the blanket statement, you want to win championships and bring world championships. Well, if you want to do that, you guys are far away from doing that, and something needs to change. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. We got to move along. We got Pete in Squirrel Hill. Hey, Pete, how are you?
Hey, Bob, how are you on a Friday night?
We're doing well, Pete. Thanks.
Hey, Bob, it seems to me Bob, the problem is the culture. Every year when the Pirates come back from spring training, I've noticed for quite some time now that when somebody hits a double, a triple, Bob, they're more interested in coming up down in spring training with different hand signals, different dance moves and stuff like that. And once again, last in the National League in defensive efficiency and second worst in the league in errors. You got to change the culture, Bob, and get the solid fundamental baseball and not worrying about like dancing when it's celebrating a double.
Well, all right, but I'm going to throw a little counterpoint to you, Pete. Do you know who leads the National League in most errors?
Who's that?
The Dodgers.
Well, you know what, Bob? When you hit the ball over a wall like
there
they
you
do.
go. There are ways around that, I know. All right, thanks, Pete. I appreciate it, but I get your point. Jim, Will, and another Jim coming up. We have one line open for you. It's 412-575-2600. Call it. It's the Bordas and Bordas hotline, and this is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We'll take a break, come back with more right after this.